Okay, so in the VTubing space, obviously there's been a big problem with YouTube censorship and the recent censorship that's been going on the internet lately. Now, we've talked about this tweet, obviously from Bao the Whale, talking about the fact of, how YouTube wants us to give them our IDs and stuff like that. Well, accounts are constantly being hacked by crypto scammers, so in a sense, why should we trust them to hold all of this? And just the other week, obviously, YouTube implemented this new system where essentially you've got to give up your ID if they suspect that, you are under 18 or whatever, and they will then obviously check that. Now, I do think it is pretty ridiculous that that has even, been a thing that's been allowed on the platform, and, it's a thing that has, happened. But to be fair, I haven't actually seen anything too bad coming from this. Like, me personally, I haven't been affected by it at all. But obviously, there's a lot of people that I've seen on Twitter, obviously posting the fact that they can't watch videos anymore unless they give away their ID to a private company, which could easily be hacked and easily be kind of exposed to a lot of people. And that's definitely an issue whenever it comes to VTubers, which we've already talked about. But it seems like the censorship issue is now reaching out into a wider kind of VTuber community. Obviously, there's people in the community saying it's so validating when you flag and take down videos or outright ban creators because of your automated flag system. Screwed that random VTuber for breathing a bit too hard into a microphone, but God bless that one Slavic woman that keeps cleaning her house on all fours, and the only thing covering her nudity is whatever happened to the body paint. Which obviously, they're saying, but thank God she has a huge mirror in the background so you can see all of this kind of stuff. And obviously they're referring to the videos that are on YouTube currently of the cleaning videos, which literally is just complete like nude videos, which is crazy. That that's even on YouTube in the first place. They should be taking that down right away, but they're too concerned with obviously making people give their IDs instead. Now obviously there's been another account though, essentially a VTuber artist, or an artist in general, but they do make a lot of VTuber content. They even make recently I've seen they've made like Kiara kind of art. I'm not sure if they do much else, but obviously it seems like they make a lot of art and a lot of VTuber art. And they've also been heavily affected by the censorship issue, with their Patreon page actually being removed without prior notification. They said, I've lost access to the account along with years of work, my supporters, and my main source of income, including all funds, which obviously sucks. That is absolutely terrible, as for a lot of artists, places like Patreon are the, place where you can essentially, make your money. That is their kind of lifeline in terms of money, the same as maybe YouTube for me. If my YouTube account was gone, then obviously I wouldn't be making any money. The same goes for obviously their Patreon as well. So it's absolutely terrible, because that is one of their main platforms. Obviously they do have Twitter, but you don't really make much money off of Twitter. Obviously, they go on to add context behind the thing, saying, for context, I had been previously warned on the website and via email that my account was in violation of community guidelines back in November 2023. My page had clearly stated that all characters depicted in my artwork are consenting adults. During that time, my Patreon hadn't been taken down, and I was given the chance to remove the violating post before I was able to continue posting as usual. Obviously, they actually put the email there saying, hi there, this is Robin from the Trusted Safety Team. I'm writing to let you know that your account is in violation of our community guidelines. And obviously they said they have a zero tolerance for obviously like minors and things like that, and violence and everything, but it's a fair enough rule. It's obviously something that is fair enough, but it seems like it's been falsely flagged because they don't really draw or create anything to do with that kind of stuff. So obviously they keep on going, saying, I was advised that their guidelines apply equally to off-platform activities, and that their main issue was in the titling of the post, as they do not allow the explicit mention of school. As long as I changed the title of the post, then I wouldn't have to remove them. So obviously, that was pretty fair enough. I mean, just changing the title of it, I guess, that is an easy workaround. Obviously, it keeps going on as well. They say, I was also given a list of Pixiv Pixiv artworks that I needed to remove, many of which that were not NSFW and did not have any NSFW variations. They even included safer work pieces that I had drawn from before I started my Patreon. Since then, I had to pay close attention to the titling and themes of my posts as to not violate guidelines further. And obviously this is a result of the increased kind of censorship and increased, I guess, I don't really know how to describe it, like punishments, or they kind of watch you a lot more now for this kind of stuff, especially on Patreon, ever since all of this kind of stuff has kicked off. And as you can see here, you know, they've actually listed places on Pixiv. So obviously, if you don't know, Pixiv is a separate artwork site. You know, Pixiv is another place where you can upload your art, right? And it's Patreon telling them to remove posts from a site that isn't even theirs because they don't like it. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. You know, I completely understand, obviously, Patreon wanting them to change some things on their own platform. If that goes against their rules, then that's totally fine. But I think, obviously, forcing someone to change their, you know, artwork, delete it or whatever on another platform so that they don't get banned is pretty insane to me. And even for content like this, for example, which is not, you know, NSFW, this is not NSFW at all. And, you know, they're trying to say, like, it's on the same level, which I think is absolutely crazy. And obviously, this kind of shows you the amount of, I guess, authoritarianism that has kind of taken over on the internet lately, where companies feel like they're safe to just go ahead and tell people, hey, you just delete that artwork on a site that we don't even own. If not, you're getting banned from our one, which I think is absolutely insane and ridiculous that is even taking place in the first place. And they say, the posts cited in my recent violation include characters that I've been drawing even before my violation from 2023 in the exact same style, and proportions that Patreon seemed to not have any issues with back then, as I had worked with their trust and safety team to make sure that all violating posts have been removed. As a flat-chested adult woman myself, it's extremely discouraging to see the way that adults with similar petite characteristics are being treated, which, yeah, I mean, that's 100% true. And, you know, I think also another big problem is the fact that they're saying, like, before they'd even set up a Patreon account, you know, they're being flagged for posts that weren't even there before they set up their Patreon account, you know? Like, what kind of world we live in where, like, some companies going through your old Twitter posts from, like, let's say, like, 7 years ago, from the time where you drew one thing, and they're like, okay, you get banned because of that, like, or you have to delete it, else you can't, you know, stay on our platform. Like, that's crazy for something that wasn't even there, you know, whenever you even signed up your Patreon account. Maybe Patreon didn't even exist whenever you set it up, you know? And I think it is pretty insane. Obviously, to say, if you'd like to support me, I've opened up a Pixiv fan box, and I'm waiting for the approval of my subscriber star page, where I'll be reposting my old content alongside new content. So obviously, yeah, that is great to see that, you know, they've started up a new place, and obviously I definitely recommend going to go and support them. They're called Koari, Koari1. So they have those pages over there. And yeah, it's terrible that this has even happened to them in the first place. And this is a result of the increased censorship that's been going on in the space, you know, and obviously this has been going on for quite a while with them since 2023. But I think that, you know, obviously they've been banned off the platform and things like that due to them having a little bit more of a, I guess, backing from a lot of people to remove NSFW posts like this because they feel like they're safer to do so. Whereas back in 2023, all of this stuff wasn't really going on. So they were just like, well, we'll just leave it for a bit and just see what happens. And I think that's really what's happened here. And, you know, obviously even Bao has posted on this, you know, literally someone who's been speaking out against the YouTube censorship. You know, they're saying, I hate Patreon so much. And yeah, Patreon's a very, very weird space. I don't get how they're run. I've, you know, run Patreons before, and sometimes they would like wait for like 2 weeks to send me the money, which was extremely weird. Like they wouldn't let me have it like straight away. And I was like, bro, I literally set everything up like normal, and they're like, oh, well, you gotta wait 2 weeks for it, which I thought was extremely weird. There's also stuff, for example, like they sent me an email like last week telling me that my you know, Patreon password had been changed, and like, you know the usual email that's like, your Patreon password's been changed, if you didn't do this, then, you know, do something. No, sorry, they changed my payout. They said, your payout has been changed, if you didn't do this, then please reset your password or whatever, like protect your account, right? And then they sent out an email about 24 hours later, and, you know, I was panicking. I was like, oh god, okay, fine, I gotta reset my password and things. But like my payout system was still exactly the same. And then they sent an email out 24 hours later or whatever, being like, sorry, we sent that to everybody, didn't mean to do that. And obviously, you know, it kind of shows you how unprofessional they are in the first place if they're sending out emails to everybody saying that their payout methods have been changed. I mean, you know, I kind of get it if it's just like a newsletter email or something like spam, but like whenever you're saying like someone has literally changed the payout, the way that you make money on your account, and, you know, there's probably a lot of artists, because I didn't really make much on Patreon, but I think, you know, obviously a lot of artists who is literally their income, and they get an email saying their payout has changed, you know, they'll be freaking out, because obviously that is their kind of monthly income. And yeah, I mean, it just sucks, you know, a lot of these people are being targeted. The same goes for many other artists in the space as well. It's not just Koari, and obviously I'll try to cover them as much as possible. But yeah, it's just very, very terrible for the VTubing space in general, because obviously Patreon is such an easy place to kind of access things. You know, as much as I don't like Patreon, I think that they do have an easy way to access content and just to kind of do stuff. You know, I'm subscribed to a couple of Patreons because, you know, you get extra videos and things from, you know, YouTubers you like and whatever. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if they're doing stuff like this to some of their creators, I think it is pretty messed up. And, you know, obviously a lot of people are slowly starting to lose support for them because, you know, it's just really scummy. And I think that, you know, going after people for stuff they posted off platform is pretty mental. But yeah, let me know down in the comments, sorry, what you guys think about this. Again, I'm very interested in what you guys have to say. Again, it's a very interesting situation. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also go over to Gamersubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off again. You got a ton of really cool stuff over there. You've also got the new V card stuff out if you guys want to go check that out. So again, really, really cool stuff over there. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.